to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Good morning, everybody. I'm coming to you today from the city of Chicago, Illinois. It is at this location at Caffe Osterman Beach, right here at Ardmore, that we are going to begin the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl ride. One of the amazing things about the Chicago Lakefront Trail is the amount of different places you could stop at. Being the big city, there are tons of eating and drinking options available on the trail or really close to the trail. The pub crawl ride is going to be about 20 locations. Now, I definitely cannot handle 20 rounds of drinks in one day. So we're going to split this up into 3 separate rides. This ride this morning, starting at the very top of the Chicago Lakefront Trail here at Caffe Osterman Beach. We are going to make our way south. Our first stop is the dock at Montrose Beach. If we did this pub crawl last year, we could have started right over here at the Caffe Osterman Beach. There was a location which did have a liquor license where you were able to grab a drink, but unfortunately they're not here this year. So the first place for us is going to be down the trail this way to the dock at Montrose Beach. We're going to get a drink there. They open at 11, so it's just a little bit before 11 at this point. We wanted to start this off early.
This pub crawl is going to be very e-bike centric, meaning every location will have to meet the following criteria. It must be on the Lakefront Trail or an easy ride from the Lakefront Trail. It must have outdoor seating, and we must be able to park the e-bikes close to where we sit so we could keep an eye on them. Please also note that for this pub crawl, we started each day right when things opened up. We took our time, ate at multiple locations, we were done drinking in the afternoon, and we didn't leave until hours later after dinner. With the map I created, you can make this pub crawl into whatever you want it to be. Only want 3 drinks? Pick your favorite 3 spots and enjoy the ride. You don't even have to drink. Ride to Bacino's to try the bruschetta, and then maybe the nachos at RJ Grunts. You can try a taco from the new taco place on the Riverwalk. If you're so inclined, ride down to Salerno's Nautical Playpen to give their pizza a try. And lastly, the most important thing here, please drink responsibly. We don't want anyone getting hurt.
All right, so let's begin the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl ride. So we have made it to pub crawl stop number 1. This is the dock at Montrose Beach. They just opened. They open at 11. It's just 8 after 11. Sometimes they have a band here on weekends. We're on a weekday currently. They don't have a band set up, so we just tucked the bikes right in here. We're going to only be here for 1 drink, so we're not going to be taking up that space for very long. All right, so 1 beer later, we are done with the dock at Montrose Beach. Our next stop is the Clock Tower Cafe, just south from where we're at right now. We have made it to pub crawl stop number 2, the Clock Tower Cafe here. They have a big golf course over here, but they do have a bar and grill right over here with outdoor seating. Last time we were here, there was like 20 bikes all parked up here. Definitely not a problem. Today, we just parked them right over here because they're not as busy. So we're gonna grab ourselves drink number 2 and then continue exploring south on the trail. Drink number 2 is accomplished at the Clock Tower Cafe. Clock Tower's this way, restrooms over here, and again, plenty of parking very, very close to where you'd sit. So definitely a good e-bike spot. But we're on to the next pub. Pub crawl stop number 3, Bacino's Italian Grill. They have an awesome outdoor seating area here with your choice of whether or not you want to be in the shade or in the sun, with umbrella, without umbrella. They got the cool chairs here. There's a public restroom over there, and this is the Diversey driving range right over here. That does it for pub number 3 at Bacino's Italian Restaurant here in Lincoln Park. So next up, we're gonna make our way backtrack right back to the trail, and then we're headed to the Lakefront Restaurant, which is a place I've never been, so I'm super excited to check that place out. We made it to pub crawl stop number 4, the Lakefront Restaurant right here. Incidentally, they do have the Lakefront Lounge over there. I'm not entirely sure if it's open just yet. It wasn't when we passed by earlier this morning. But this is Theater on the Lake, the Lakefront Restaurant at Theater on the Lake. We were able to just grab a table over here, just park our bikes right here, so perfect for e-bikes. And I saw a couple other regular bicyclists on the other side that parked their bikes over there. They also have parking here, so you could always lock it up here, and you're within eye shot of all of this area over here. Awesome view here, right by Charitas, which was part of the sculpture ride, if you haven't checked that out yet. But we're just hanging out for drinks. So just note here that right now we're on a Friday. It's 1:34 p.m. They are on a reservation list for their outdoor seating, so just be aware of that. It's a really nice day towards the end of June, so you might want to call first if you want to stop here, or you could definitely, we could have sat right at the bar, but we wanted to be pretty close to the bikes, so we just declined that. But she was able to seat us outside in the lounge seating here. At this particular point, they didn't want us in a regular table because we weren't eating. We're just stopping for a quick beer before we moved on to the next stop in the pub crawl. So yeah, so drink number 4 right here at the Lakefront Restaurant. Stop number 4 was a success right here at the Lakefront Restaurant at Theater on the Lake. So what we're going to do next is head back into Lincoln Park. And one of the things I've mentioned previously is I really like when in this area going through the Lincoln Park Zoo. So we're going to go through the Lincoln Park Zoo and come right out at the patio at Cafe Brauer. So we're going to stop there and grab a drink and then make our way to the next stop. Stop number 5 on the pub crawl is the patio at Cafe Brauer here just on the west side of Lincoln Park Zoo. You got an awesome view here. So the configuration of this restaurant is slightly different than it was last year because every time we came here a bunch of times last year, we came in from that way. They have that area completely closed off. You have to go in from this way now. And right here at like 2:30 on a Friday, you can't get a table unless you're eating, and we're just here for a round of drinks. So it looks like we could sit right on the patio seating right over here by where we parked the bike. So it looks like we have a good solution for a drink here. All right, so that does it for pub crawl stop number 5 here at the patio at Cafe Brauer. Again, different rules than last year. They're not going to seat anybody at a table unless you're going to eat. Cool places to sit over here. We were able to grab a drink and sit really close to the bike, so that worked out well. So our last stop of the day is going to be RJ Grunts. We're actually pretty close to RJ Grunts. It's a Let Us Entertain You restaurant. It's one of the places that me and my wife really like in this area. Really good food, really good margaritas. So that's going to be our last stop for day 1 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. Stop number 6 and the final stop on our pub crawl for today is RJ Grunts in Lincoln Park here. It is just west of the Lincoln Park Zoo, right here at the intersection of Lincoln Park West and Dickens. Since we first started exploring the Lakefront Trail about a year ago, we've come to RJ Grunts a decent handful of times here. Their patio was open a lot longer than a lot of other places were towards the end of last season. We ate outside here in November, so that was very cool. So I'm not exactly sure at this point when we're going to come back for day 2 of the pub crawl here. It's going to take us 3 rides to finish the 20-something locations that we're going to stop at. But my hope is that we're going to be able to get another ride in within the next couple weeks. At which point we're going to start from exactly right here at this intersection, right by RJ Grunts, and then start making our way towards North Avenue Beach.
I can't take this much longer. I gotta have a beer.
All right, so we are back here at RJ Grunts for day 2 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. The plan today includes 6 more stops on the pub crawl. Our first of which is in North Avenue Beach. We're going to stop at the Shore Club Chicago right after they open. So hopefully we'll be able to get a seat with no issue. That place can definitely get busy. It's one of the reasons I designed day 2 to start there. So that's where we're headed. We're going to head towards the lake through Lincoln Park, across Lakeshore Drive, and into North Avenue Beach. So let's check it out. The route that I planned for this pub crawl, I put deliberately going this way because I really like the view here, although you can see it's still pretty smoky. On Tuesday, the air quality in Chicago was the worst on the planet. So we're actually we're here one day before that big NASCAR event, which starts tomorrow. We were checking out the Grant Park area. Pretty cool to see what they've done with that, but it is quite the mess. If we cross over this way, we're looking back towards Lincoln Park Zoo. Here's Cafe Brauer here. The Patio Cafe Brauer was one of the stops on the pub crawl on the last ride. We were just able to sit over there. We have made it to the first stop on day 2 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. So we are at, this is the Sandbar at Shore Club Chicago here. They have the outdoor patio here. They have more of a covered restaurant in the middle, and on the other side they have cabanas. So it's a cool place. Again, every place that we stop has to be e-bike friendly, which means I'm not going to park it in a regular parking zone. Because you know, how expensive they are and stuff. So we were able to park it here last time with no issue. So they have a little slab over here, and then we got a spot right over here in the corner, so we have an eye on our bikes. So we're just gonna grab round number 1, and then we're gonna start making our way south on the trail. All right, so that does it for stop number 1 here at Shore Club Chicago. As you saw, they definitely are e-bike friendly, as we were able to park our bikes right over here. So we are just gonna start making our way to stop number 2 today. We made it to stop number 2. This is Whispers at Oak Street Beach. It is literally on the trail. Just note that this area can be quite busy compared to some other sections of the Lakefront Trail. As you can see, they do have a separate bike lane and a separate walking lane, but nobody seems to really pay attention to that around here. Anyway, this is another one of those e-bike friendly spots. We've been here a decent handful of times over the last couple of years, and we're able to park our e-bikes there with absolutely no problem. My wife's up there grabbing drinks at the bar, so we're going to consume drink number 2 and then start heading south on the trail. Well, that concludes pub crawl stop number 2 for the day here at Whispers. As you can see here, again, a very busy area for the trail. We're going to continue making our way south here, and we're going to stop at Ohio Street Beach. That's really close to Navy Pier. The third stop on the pub crawl for day 2 here is Caffe Oliva at Ohio Street Beach.
Except it's not Caffe Olivia, it's Caffe Oliva. So forgive my multiple mispronunciations.
This is a pretty awesome location, pretty much between North Avenue Beach and Navy Pier. Navy Pier's over this way here. Caffe Oliva is currently seat yourself. So we're just going to grab a table of our own. They have no problem with us parking our bikes right here, so that makes them a good e-bike stop. So we're just going to grab drink number 3 and then continue making our way south. All right, so stop number 3 on the pub crawl for today, Caffe Oliva, was a success. At this point, we're just going to make our way. We're not actually even going back on the trail. We're so close to Navy Pier. Navy Pier is the next stop. We're going to stop in Margaritaville for a drink, and then we'll continue investigating what we could find further when we're headed south. Another quick thing I want to mention, the people here are really nice. We have not eaten here, but it is definitely on our list of places to check out for food at some point. But today we're just here for drinks. But it's awesome that we're able to park our e-bikes with absolutely no issue, and you really can't argue with the view here because the view is absolutely incredible pretty much anywhere you look here. Stop number 4 on pub crawl day 2 is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. I'm really a big fan of this place, both their food and their margaritas. My favorite margarita, granted, is pretty expensive, but their Uptown Top Shelf margarita is one of my favorite margaritas. So we're not going to take up a table here. One of the advantages to having a drink at Navy Pier is once you purchase it, they have this to-go drink area. You could just take it anywhere on the pier that you want. So you're not stuck. At a lot of places, you're kind of stuck in the area. As soon as you cross the fence, you can't carry alcohol behind a certain point. But this right here, the Uptown Top Shelf, again, is my favorite margarita of all the margaritas. There are a ton of places though that you could get a drink with an e-bike on Navy Pier. I'm going to put up a list of all the places. We stopped at Margaritaville as like the representative Navy Pier spot for our pub crawl, but there are many different places that you could stop for a drink on Navy Pier. So that does it for round number 4. So at this point, we're going to start heading a little south on the trail, and we're going to stop at the Riverwalk and check out one of the places there for our next stop on the pub crawl. This video is definitely a pub crawl video, but when I see a sculpture I've never seen before, I'm definitely going to stop by and check it out. Always interested in seeing Chicago's public artwork here. They definitely have their eyes on me. Stop number 5 on our day 2 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. We're at the Island Party Hut on the Riverwalk here. The Riverwalk is an area that I really love. We're able to take our e-bikes on the Riverwalk. If they're not busy, you could definitely ride it. Lots of people ride their bikes. Nobody seems to complain, even security. When they're busy though, they might ask you to walk your bike just because they don't want you to hurt anybody. So right here on the Riverwalk at the Island Party Hut, we're going to grab drink number 5. They are definitely e-bike friendly. We're able to park our bikes anywhere amongst here. We've been here several times and they've always been extremely nice and extremely accommodating to e-bikes. So keep that in mind. Urban Kayaks is down that way over there. It's one of the things that me and my wife have definitely considered doing at some point in the future. I've never done a kayak. There are several spots on the Riverwalk where you can grab a drink. This was what I had set for the first spot in from the Lakefront Trail. As you saw as we went in, there's a new spot that was not here last year, a taco place where you could get a drink if you wanted to. But if you are so inclined, I mean, you could definitely do a pub crawl on the Riverwalk itself, just like Navy Pier. There are several places down this way where you could stop. If you stopped at the taco place behind us this way, this could be drink number 2 for you. And there are more places down when you start heading west on the Riverwalk. Stop number 5 here was a success at the Island Party Hut. So we are going to make our way back headed east here towards Caffe Michelle, very close to where we are, although it's a place we've never actually been to. We did verify the last time we were here that they did in fact serve beer and stuff. Our last stop at number 6 today for day 2 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl is Caffe Michelle here. We actually didn't get back on the Lakefront Trail for this. You could find this basically just leaving the Riverwalk here. Caffe Michelle definitely seems to be e-bike friendly. No issues parking right over here, so that's good. All right, so that does it for our final stop on day 2 here at Caffe Michelle. Again, this place is located in a really cool place. It's past the Riverwalk when we're headed south on the Lakefront Trail. If you need provisions and stuff, they get a bunch of stuff in here. But at this point, what we're going to end up doing is starting day 3 right from this location. We're going to start right here from Caffe Michelle and then start working our way south. I'm hoping we're going to be able to get good weather in the next couple weeks, come back down here and finish off the pub crawl. This is the end of day 2, so we'll catch you on day 3.
Hey, Barney, I think you've had enough.
Are you crazy? We still haven't tried raspberry duff, lady duff,
Powder control,
All right, we are back with day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. We are right here at back at Cafe Michelle, which is right here at DuSable Harbor here. You can see Navy Pier over this way, Lake Point Tower up here. So on the agenda for day 3 is 6 more stops, the final 6 stops on the pub crawl. We're going to be heading south on the trail this way down here. When I first set up this pub crawl, I had the next stop at this party boat that used to pull right up, right across from Lakeview Park, which is actually just a little bit down this way. But all the times we've come this year, we have not seen that boat. So that would have been the first stop. So we're going to end up going to the second spot, which is Pie Life, and that's right by Buckingham Fountain. So a hop, skip, and a jump later, this would have been drink number 1. I'll insert some pictures here. We really liked the place that was here, the boat that would pull up. We'd be able to put the bikes right next to it, hop on there, grab a quick drink, and then continue down the trail. So it is currently the 27th of July. It's a Thursday. I just wanted to point out that the Tiki Snack Shack Patio and Bar, the boat here, right by Lakeview Park, which is right over this way here, it is back. So I asked the bartender to find out why they weren't here earlier. He said they normally open in May, but they had some sort of licensing issue, but now that that's taken care of, they're open. They intend to stay open until the very beginning of October, weather pending. But they plan to be out every day between 10 and noon, depending on the day of the week. But I'm very glad to see, these guys were very nice to us last year, so I'm very glad to see that they are in fact back. And it's a very unique location because it's the only one that's floating on the water, and you could definitely feel it. So I'd advise it for a drink 1, but definitely not for a drink 5 or 6. So we are on our way to Buckingham Fountain. It looks like that whole area is getting set up for an event. It looks like Lollapalooza is coming up in a week or two. Well, according to Pie Life's website, which I did check yesterday, it says Wednesday through Sunday. They open up at 11. When we got to Pie Life, the sign on their door says they open at noon, so we're just going to hang out here for about a half hour or so. While we have a little time to kill, I just wanted to point this place out. Last year, Pie Life was not the only option at Buckingham Fountain if you wanted to get a drink. This was Buck's. And sadly, Buck's never reopened this year because this would have been a very quick extra spot to grab a beer from. So we're just going to go around the fountain, kill a little time. It's definitely a nice day here. As you can see, they do have tents and stuff going up, and the fencing is going up for Lollapalooza. We have made it to stop number 1 on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. Right here at Pie Life. We're right at Buckingham Fountain here. Definitely a cool place to check out, and very easy to get to from the trail, as you saw. When you grab a drink here, they want you to sit inside one of their seating areas. They got one over there, they have one over here. You can't just walk around with a beer around the fountain. When you're at either of their patio areas, it's just a simple matter of putting your bikes right next to where you're sitting, so it does qualify as a good e-bike spot. This way over here, they have restrooms, and on the opposite side of the fountain, they have another restroom that's set up just like this one here. As you can see, they have vendors come through this area. They got one over here selling souvenirs, another one over here with ice cream. So you have lots of options here. All right, so that does it for drink number 1 at Pie Life, right here by Buckingham Fountain. So at this point, what we're gonna do is just backtrack down the ramp here, make our way across Lakeshore Drive back onto the bike trail, start making our way south past Museum Campus, and we're gonna stop at one of my favorite places to stop at on the Lakefront Trail, and that's Boat Drinks. We have made it to number 2 on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. We are right here at Boat Drinks, which is right on the walking trail, basically right at the walking trail and Waldron Drive. They have an outdoor seating section over here. They have an outdoor seating section over here. And they got benches and stuff. And during football season, they have multiple screens up, and this place is a madhouse when the Bears are playing. They have bike racks over here. You could pull up your bike to basically any spot you see here. We're tucked over here. I was trying to stay away from the music so I didn't have any copyright issues when I was doing my videos. They do have live music here at times. You can check their website for the schedule for that, but definitely a place to check out during the day and during the evening. We've eaten here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at separate times. We've always had a good experience here. The people are really nice. The other side of this building here is Burnham Harbor Office and Ship Store, which is this way here. We got Northerly Island over here, previously where Meg's Field was. But as you can see, they have plenty of seating here. We just sat over there. We just went around the building here. But they do have plenty of outdoor seating here. I do like their breakfast burrito. It definitely hit the spot a couple of times that we've come out here, and I did not get breakfast in advance. All right, so that does it for drink number 2. So at this point, we are going to stay on Waldron Drive. We're going to cross all the way over. And while we were doing the sculpture ride earlier this year, we came across a place that we have not seen before, which is called Spoke and Bird. So while we were by the Helping Hands sculpture, we noticed that place. We put it on our list of places to check out, so that's where we're headed next. We actually haven't stopped there before, so we're eager to check out a new place, but that's where we're headed. We have made it to stop number 3 on the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl day 3. We are right here at Spoke and Bird. As you saw, it was pretty simple to get across from Waldron Drive by Boat Drinks to get over here. You're just basically riding on this street. As you can see, they have a large outdoor seating area. It looks like, at least right now, it's staff only to actually go inside. I imagine that's because the patio's open. On a day where the weather's not so nice, I imagine they have the inside open. So we weren't able to actually check out what the inside of this place looked like. But they do have a limited selection of beer and wine. They didn't have a beer that I would drink, so I got a mint margarita. So we're gonna check out and see how good that is. They definitely qualify as e-bike friendly here. It's just very simple. Just stick the bike over here. I imagine anywhere along the fence line on any of the three sides here, and then just grab a table. Well, that does it for drink number 3 today on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl here at Spoke and Bird on 18th Street. They did have a limited beer selection here. My wife was able to get the wine that she likes. I ended up getting the mint margarita, and while I really like margaritas and I really like mint, I've never actually tried both of them together. And I gotta tell you, it ain't the best margarita I've ever had. Anyway, at this point, we are going to head to our next location. It was very cool to check out Spoke and Bird. Definitely a cool place. We'll definitely be here again. We have not eaten here yet, but that is on the agenda for some point in the future. The last time we were here, the fountain was off. It looks like it might be on. So before we head back, we're just gonna head down there just to see what that looks like, and then make our way to our next location, which should be Pier 31 at 31st Street Beach. This is Helping Hands, one of the sculptures we visited on the Chicago Lakefront Trail sculpture ride that I posted a little while back. All right, so as you saw, we took just a slight diversion right by Soldier Field. When I saw that that front gate was opened up and I saw a sculpture right by a flag, I definitely wanted to check that out. Unfortunately, security wouldn't let me get past, but I was able to zoom in with a picture with my iPhone. I'll put that up. So at this point, we are back at Waldron and the Lakefront Trail. The Lakefront Trail is this way here. Boat Drinks was our 2 stops ago, so that's over there to put that all in perspective. So now we're just gonna head south and make our way to Pier 31 at 31st Street Beach. Stop number 4 on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl, Pier 31. It's a 31st Street beachside bar and grill. It's right here at 31st Street Beach. They do have a comfort station here, restrooms. This is Pier 31's outdoor seating area right here. It's pretty big. I imagine they could fill it with quite a bit more tables. They do have an outside bar here. The bar is not currently open. She said it opens at 4, but you could still get some drinks right from the counter service over here. So we were able to grab ourselves a beer and a White Claw. This is our first time at Pier 31. When we were here last week, we rode past it to make sure it was in fact still open, unlike the place on Ardmore Avenue. One of the other things I wanted to point out here is where we're parked. They have really good e-bike parking because it's very tucked into a little area here. We asked if we were able to park here. They indicated we could. I just don't want to block the counter service over there, but this one's already closed. So you have this entire area in here for which to park e-bikes. So we're going to finish off drink number 4 here, and then we're going to make our way south. All right, so that does it for drink number 4 here at Pier 31, 31st Street Beachside Bar and Grill. A really good view here. It's a cool beach we have not spent a lot of time at, so it's always cool to kind of get a different perspective. One of the many perspectives you can get with a ride on the Chicago Lakefront Trail. So at this point, now that we're concluded with drink number 4, we're gonna head to number 5. Number 5, we're not even going to get back on the Chicago Lakefront Trail to get there because it's also, right now we're at the north end of 31st Street Beach. We're going to go to the south end, and then we're going to just take like the revetment on this side and then head towards Salerno's Nautical Playpen. Stop number 5 on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl, Salerno's Nautical Playpen. We're on the southern end of 31st Street Beach here, just south of Pier 31, which was our last stop. This place right here is extremely interesting in the fact that we are completely surrounded by water. So as you saw, if you're making your way south on the revetment all the way down, at this point, they have a bridge here, which I have looked at satellite view during the winter, and it is not here. Without this bridge, there is no way to get off of this pier system here. So this is our only entrance in and out, but they definitely did not have an issue with us bringing our e-bikes. We've actually seen several e-bikes here. So we're grabbing a drink from the bar over here. I'm gonna grab myself a snack from the pizza station over here. And then our bikes are just sitting really nice in the shade over here. They also rent wave runners, which you can see a bunch of them are lined up over here. And they do in fact also have a pool. And again, we're completely surrounded by water at this location here. So very cool location to check out. All right, so that does it for round number 5. It's Salerno's Nautical Playpen here on the south end of 31st Street Beach. But at this point, our next stop is going to be Reggies on the beach at 63rd Street Beach. So right now, again, we're at 31st Street Beach. I'm not aware of any other place between here and 63rd Street that we'd be able to stop for an e-bike friendly drink. So at this point, we're just gonna make our way south on the trail, headed towards 63rd Street Beach. One of the things I really like when I'm heading south from this direction is riding on the revetment. This revetment here is about 10 blocks. We're at 31st Street Beach. It dumps right into 41st Street Beach, which is Oakwood Beach. So you could ride a 10-block revetment from this location, which I definitely prefer. But at this point, we're just gonna head back onto the trail because this ride's about where you can access places to drink from the Chicago Lakefront Trail. So we're gonna head across the bridge here, cut across to the Lakefront Trail, and then start making our way south to Reggies. All right, so our final stop here on day 3 of the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl is Reggies on the beach here at 63rd Street Beach. So they have an eating area in here with a bar. They also have a bar right over here, which makes it easy if you want to keep your bikes in the shade, but we have previously parked right over there by the bike racks over there and just got one of the tables over here. So this definitely works out as being e-bike friendly. So that does it for drink number 6 here at Reggies on the beach at 63rd Street Beach in Chicago. From this location, the end of the trail is 71st Street. So because I'm a completionist, we're gonna head all the way down to 71st Street. I'm very interested though, if you're more familiar with this area than I am, let me know if there's anywhere between 63rd and 71st that we'd be able to pull off and a place that'd be e-bike friendly that we'd be able to grab a drink. We've been here a handful of times over the past couple of years. The people here at Reggies are really nice. Definitely worth checking out. Grab yourself a drink or grab yourself a meal. And again, definitely e-bike friendly. So our next stop is 71st Street. We have made it all the way down to 7100 South here. We're right by the South Shore Cultural Center right over here, and then the golf course right over here. Right here at 71st Street and South Shore Drive, which is mile marker 18.0 for the bike trail. And on the reverse end, we're at mile marker 0.0.
So that does it for the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. Let me know what you think of the pub crawl in the comments below. If you are familiar with these areas and know of a pub I can easily get to from the Chicago Lakefront Trail, definitely let me know. As always, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. If you are interested in supporting this channel and helping us get to more trails, please consider a super thanks. Every cent will be used towards CynicalZombie expenses like gas, parking, equipment, and lodging for trails we can't get to in one day. So that's all I got today for the Chicago Lakefront Trail pub crawl. I'll catch you on the next ride. Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below.